The season is heating up and every game is starting to matter more. Some teams are proving they belong at the top, while others are struggling to keep up. Injuries, lineup changes, and unexpected performances are shaking things up, making it harder to predict who will come out on top. The race for the playoffs is getting tighter, and fans are on edge with every win and loss. One of the biggest questions right now is which teams can handle the pressure. Some are playing their best basketball at the right time, building momentum for a deep playoff run. Others are facing setbacks, whether it's key players missing time or defensive struggles they can't seem to fix. Every decision, from coaching adjustments to player rotations, could make or break a team's season. With so much happening, it's time to take a closer look at how teams have been performing lately. Who's on the rise? Who's slipping? And what does it all mean for the road ahead? Let's break it down. The last few games have given us a clearer picture of where teams really stand. Some have stepped up, finding their rhythm at the right time, while others are struggling to stay consistent. Shooting percentages, defensive plays, and late game execution are making all the difference. A few teams have surprised everyone with dominant wins, while others have suffered tough losses that raise serious concerns. A key factor in these performances has been how well teams adjust during games. The best teams don't just rely on talent, they make smart changes when things aren't working. Whether it's switching defensive matchups, speeding up the offense, or trusting their bench players, teams that adapt quickly are the ones finding success. On the other hand, those that fail to adjust are seeing the same mistakes cost them again and again. As the playoff race tightens, every game is a test. Some teams are proving they can handle high-pressure situations, closing out games with confidence. Others are letting leads slip away or struggling to find answers against tougher competition. These recent performances tell us a lot about which teams are built for a deep playoff run and which ones still have major problems to fix. Some players are taking their game to another level, stepping up when their team needs them the most. Whether it's a star player dropping huge numbers or a role player making a big impact, individual performances are shaping the outcome of these games. Clutch shots, lockdown defense, and smart decision-making are separating the best from the rest. While some players are thriving, others are struggling to find their form. Shooting slumps, defensive lapses, or injuries have slowed down key contributors, putting extra pressure on their teammates. The difference between a great team and a good one often comes down to how well these players bounce back. Some will rise to the challenge, while others may continue to struggle as the season moves forward. The spotlight is especially bright on players carrying their teams down the stretch. Some are proving they can be trusted in big moments, delivering when the game is on the line. Others still have something to prove, needing to step up if their team wants to stay competitive. With every game, these performances are shaping the bigger picture of the season. Coaching decisions are playing a huge role in how teams are performing right now. Some coaches are making the right calls, adjusting their game plans to maximize their team's strengths. Whether it's tweaking the starting lineup, changing defensive schemes, or running plays that put their best players in scoring positions, smart adjustments are giving certain teams a big advantage. On the other hand, some teams are struggling because they aren't making the right changes. Poor shot selection, weak defensive rotations, and predictable plays are making it easy for opponents to exploit their weaknesses. When a team keeps making the same mistakes without adjusting, it becomes harder for them to compete at a high level. The teams that fail to adapt could find themselves falling behind fast. As the season progresses, strategy will be more important than ever. Teams that can adjust on the fly and find new ways to win will stay ahead of the competition. Those that stick to the same game plan, even when it's not working, will continue to struggle. The difference between winning and losing often comes down to who can make the right moves at the right time. Injuries are starting to play a major role in the season, forcing teams to adjust on the fly. Some key players are sidelined, leaving their teams scrambling to fill the gap. When a star player goes down, it changes everything, from how the team runs its offense to the way opponents defend them. Some teams have the depth to handle these setbacks, while others are struggling without their top talent. At the same time, roster changes are shaking things up. Whether it's a mid-season trade, a new signing, or a bench player stepping into a bigger role, teams are looking for ways to stay competitive. Some moves are paying off, giving teams the boost they need, while others haven't worked out as expected. Finding the right balance is key, especially with the playoff race getting tighter. As the season moves forward, health and depth will be crucial. Teams that can keep their core players on the court have a big advantage, while those dealing with constant injuries will need to rely on their bench. Every roster decision matters, and the teams that manage these challenges the best will have the edge when it counts the most. The playoff race is getting more intense with every game. Some teams have built a comfortable lead, while others are fighting to stay in the mix. A few losses can completely change the standings, making every matchup more important. The competition is so close that even small mistakes could be the difference between making the playoffs or missing out. For teams on the bubble, every win matters. They can't afford to slip up, especially against weaker opponents. Some are gaining momentum at the right time, stacking up wins and climbing the standings. Others are struggling to keep up, dropping games they can't afford to lose. The pressure is building, and only the most consistent teams will survive. With just a few weeks left in the regular season, the fight for seeding is heating up. Teams are battling for home court advantage, knowing how much of a difference it can make in the playoffs. The road to the postseason is full of challenges, and the teams that handle the pressure best will be the ones making deep runs. The next few games will be critical, with several matchups that could shake up the standings. Some of the league's top teams are set to face off, giving us a preview of potential playoff battles. These games aren't just about winning, they're about making a statement and proving which teams are truly contenders. For teams fighting for a playoff spot, these matchups are even more important. A win against a tough opponent could boost their confidence and push them up the standings. On the other hand, a loss could make their path to the postseason much harder. Every possession matters, and teams will need to bring their best effort to stay in the race. Beyond just the standings, these games will also reveal which teams are built for high-pressure moments. Some squads will rise to the occasion, showing they can compete against the best. Others may struggle under the spotlight, exposing weaknesses that could hurt them later. The outcome of these key matchups will shape the road ahead. As the season nears its final stretch, every game takes on more meaning. The strongest teams are separating themselves from the pack, while others are still searching for answers. Some have built momentum at the right time, looking like real championship threats. Others need to find solutions fast if they want to stay in contention. The biggest question now is which teams will peak when it matters most. Some squads are playing their best basketball right now, showing they're ready for a deep playoff run, but history has shown that late season struggles can carry over into the postseason. Teams that can fix their weaknesses and stay consistent will have the best shot at making a serious run. With just a few weeks left, the excitement is only going to grow. Fans are in for a wild finish as teams battle for positioning and prepare for the playoffs. The best basketball is still ahead, and the final stretch of the season will reveal who is truly built to compete for a championship.